Why don't more people live past 85? Have you ever wondered why so many people, even those who seem healthy in their 70s, don't make it to 85? It's a question that often lingers in the back of our minds, especially for those who want to stay active, independent, and mentally sharp in their later years. Maybe you're eating well, seeing your doctor regularly, and taking your medications as prescribed. But here's the thing, the real threats to long life aren't always the big, dramatic health problems. Often, it's the small, everyday habits, or the lack of them, that slowly wear down your body and mind without you even realizing it. In this video, we'll explore 5 common mistakes people make that quietly cut years off their lives. These aren't just typical health tips, they come from real-life experiences shared by doctors, caregivers, and older adults who've lived through it all. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, these overlooked habits might be speeding up your aging without you knowing. The good news, each mistake is fixable, and by making small changes now, you can not only increase your chances of living longer, but enjoy those extra years with better health, more energy, and a stronger sense of purpose. So if you're serious about making your later years your best years, stick around. Let's dive into the first mistake most people make after 65 and how to avoid it. Mistake 1. Not moving enough in daily life. One of the biggest mistakes older adults make is thinking that only formal exercise, like going to the gym or following workout videos, counts. When those things start to feel too tiring or inconvenient, many people give up on movement altogether. But here's the truth, it's not the gym that keeps you strong, it's the little movements you make throughout the day. Simple actions like walking to the mailbox, stretching to reach a high shelf, squatting to pull weeds, or standing while chatting on the phone, all keep your muscles active and your joints flexible. When you stop moving, even just a little less each day, your strength fades quietly, your balance weakens, your energy slips away. Often, people don't notice until they fall or start feeling too tired to get dressed in the morning. That's how frailty begins, not suddenly, but slowly and silently. And the effects go beyond just your body. Movement boosts circulation, supports brain function, improves mood, strengthens bones, and even helps digestion. When you sit most of the day, your brain and body start to shut things down as if they're no longer needed. One study found that standing up and moving for just 3 minutes every 30 minutes reduced the risk of early death by over 30%. Not exercising hard, just moving. Take Walter, for example. He was a retired bus driver from Iowa, 78 years old. After retiring, he became much less active. He didn't feel sick, just slower and stiffer each year. After a minor fall, his doctor warned him, "Your strength is declining faster than it should." That warning changed everything. Walter didn't join a gym. Instead, he made one small rule: never sit for more than 30 minutes at a time. Whether it was walking to another room, stretching by the sink, or doing a few knee bends, he stayed active throughout the day. 6 months later, he said he felt 5 years younger, not because he exercised harder, but because he simply moved more. The reason this matters so much is because of a dangerous mindset many older adults adopt. It's normal to slow down. Yes, some slowing is natural, but inactivity is not. When we treat motion as optional, we speed up the very process we fear, losing independence. The truth is, longevity doesn't belong to the fastest, strongest, or youngest. It belongs to the consistent movers, the ones who keep showing up, even if it's just a lap around the living room. So, if you're over 65 and you want to make it to 85 and beyond, remember this. Every step counts. You don't need to be an athlete. You just need to stay in motion. Because the moment you stop moving, your body starts writing a different ending to your story, and it's one you may not want. Keep walking, keep reaching, keep standing. That's how you stay here longer. Mistake 2. Skipping preventive health checks. One of the most overlooked reasons people don't make it to 85 isn't some dramatic illness or accident. It's the silent problems they never saw coming, and that's because many older adults stop going to the doctor unless something hurts. They skip their checkups, ignore small changes, and hope everything is just part of getting older. But that quiet avoidance is a mistake that can cost you years. You see, many of the deadliest conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes, certain cancers, don't cause pain in their early stages. They creep in slowly, affecting your organs, your circulation, your immune system, without any loud warning signs. By the time you feel symptoms, the damage may already be deep. But if caught early, most of these conditions can be managed, treated, or even reversed. You have to catch them first. Here's the tricky part. It's human nature to avoid discomfort. No one enjoys going to the doctor, hearing hard truths, or sitting through lab work. But for people over 65, skipping your annual checkups is like driving a car and never checking the oil. Everything might seem fine until the engine fails without warning. And unfortunately, that's exactly how many people end up in the emergency room, only to hear the words, "If we had caught this sooner." Let's talk about Evelyn, a 72-year-old grandmother from Ohio. She felt fine. No real complaints, just a little fatigue here and there. But her daughter pushed her to go for a full checkup, just to be safe. Turns out, Evelyn's blood sugar was dangerously high. She was pre-diabetic and didn't even know it. But because she caught it early, she made a few changes, cut out sugary snacks, started walking after dinner, and within a year, her numbers were back in the safe zone. No medications, no hospital visits, just awareness and action. Why do so many people avoid this? One word: fear. Fear of bad news, aging, or being told what you don't want to hear. But ironically, facing those fears head-on gives you power. It puts you in control. When you know what's going on inside your body, you can fight back. You can make decisions, not excuses. And that's what separates those who thrive in their 80s from those who don't make it past their 70s. There's also a false belief that what I don't know can't hurt me. But for older adults, the opposite is true. What you don't know is exactly what can take you down. Think of screenings like colonoscopies, mammograms, blood pressure checks, prostate exams. They're not just for catching disease, they're for protecting your future. They're the guardrails on a winding road, keeping you steady, even when you can't see what's ahead. And let's not forget the emotional side. Getting regular checkups isn't just about disease, it's about peace of mind. Knowing your numbers, having a doctor who understands your history, building a plan for your health. It all adds up to confidence, and confidence leads to better habits, better sleep, less stress. It's a ripple effect. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know and if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Mistake 3. Isolating yourself from others. One of the quietest killers in old age isn't heart disease or cancer. It's loneliness. We don't often talk about it, but isolation is a health risk just as serious as smoking, high blood pressure, or obesity. When people drift away from friends, lose contact with family, or stop engaging in community life, something in them begins to fade. Their sense of purpose weakens, their spirit dulls, and slowly their body follows. Now this doesn't mean you need a house full of people or endless social events. It's about connection, real, meaningful connection. It's about having someone to laugh with, talk to, and share your thoughts. And yet, as we grow older, many of us pull back. Maybe it's because we've lost loved ones. Maybe we don't feel as sharp as we once were. Or maybe we think, I don't want to bother anyone. So we stay home, we stay quiet, and over time, we start to disappear. Not just from other people's lives, but from our own. The science on this is startling. Studies have shown that seniors who experience chronic loneliness have a 26% to 45% higher risk of early death. Why? Because isolation chips away at everything. It disrupts sleep, It weakens your immune system. It leads to depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. Your brain needs other people like your body needs water. When you don't use those emotional muscles, they shrink. Take George, for example. He's 78 and lives in Arizona. After his wife passed, he spent nearly 2 years barely talking to anyone, besides the mailman. His health began to slide. He lost weight, stopped shaving, and his arthritis got worse. But everything changed when a neighbor invited him to a weekly coffee group at the local community center. He didn't want to go, but he did. That one act of courage led to friendships, laughter, and a sense that he still mattered. Within months, his mood lifted. He slept better. Even his physical pain felt more manageable. The truth is, connection keeps us alive, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. But to maintain it, we have to reach out. Even when it feels hard, we have to make the call, say yes to the invitation, join the group, or start the conversation. Waiting for others to notice we're lonely doesn't work. People are busy, distracted, or unaware. You have to be your own advocate for connection. And here's the deeper layer. When you isolate, it's not just that others miss out on you. You miss out on you because it's in conversation, in laughter, in being seen and heard, that we feel fully human. The stories you tell, the wisdom you share, it matters. You matter, and your presence in someone's life can be the very thing they didn't know they needed, just like their presence might be the thing you need most right now. If you've been feeling distant or withdrawn, don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start small. Call an old friend. Walk into a local library. Say hello to a neighbor. These little acts of bravery build a bridge back to life. And when you cross it, you'll find that what you thought was lost, your joy, your strength, your spark, is still right there, waiting for you to come back. Mistake 4. Ignoring chronic inflammation. Here's something most folks over 60 don't realize. That nagging pain in your knees, the stiffness in your back, the puffiness in your hands, it might not just be age. It could be chronic inflammation. And left unchecked, it doesn't just make you uncomfortable, it quietly increases your risk for heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, arthritis, and even early death. Inflammation, in small bursts, is your body's way of healing. You get a cut, and inflammation helps repair the skin. But when it lingers, when your body stays in that fight mode day after day, it starts to break down your healthy tissues instead of healing them. It's like leaving a fire smoldering in your house. It might not burn the whole place down at once, but little by little, the damage adds up. The problem is, most people don't even know they're inflamed. There's no loud alarm going off. It shows up as fatigue, brain fog, a little swelling here, a little stiffness there, but those are the whispers before the scream. And many seniors mistake it for just getting old, when really, it's their body crying for help. Let me tell you about Nancy. She's 73 and had been living with sore joints, low energy and frequent colds. Her doctor finally ran some tests and found elevated markers of inflammation. But instead of piling on more pills, they took a different route. Nancy began cutting out ultra-processed foods and added in anti-inflammatory staples like leafy greens, turmeric tea, and salmon twice a week. She also started walking for 20 minutes every morning, no matter the weather. 3 months later, she felt like a new woman. Her joints weren't perfect, but they moved better. Her mind was clearer. She even said her mood improved. That's because inflammation doesn't just affect your body, it affects your brain. When it flares up, your brain chemistry shifts. You're more likely to feel anxious, irritable, or depressed. And over time, that emotional weight can spiral into isolation, fatigue, and hopelessness, pushing people toward a much earlier decline than necessary. But there's good news. You have more power over inflammation than you think. It starts with what you put on your plate: sugary snacks, fried foods, processed meats. Those fuel the fire. But berries, olive oil, nuts, green tea, they help put it out. Add to that a little daily movement, good sleep, and managing your stress, and you're not just easing symptoms, you're slowing down aging at the root. And there's a deeper reason why this matters, because every time you take action to reduce inflammation, you're sending a signal to your body: I'm not giving up, I'm still in this. That mindset changes everything. You go from surviving to thriving, from dreading each morning to looking forward to what the day might bring. So, if you've been ignoring those small aches or brushing off your fatigue as just part of getting old, take another look. Your body might be trying to warn you, and the sooner you listen, the more years and more life you can add to your journey. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Mistake 5. Living without purpose. There's a reason people with a sense of purpose tend to live longer. It's not magic, it's biology, psychology, and human nature working together in quiet, powerful ways. When you wake up each day with something to look forward to, even something small, you give your brain a reason to engage, your body a reason to move, and your heart a reason to keep going. But far too many people after 65 slowly drift into a life that feels empty. The job is over, the kids are grown, the schedule quiets down, and without realizing it, their days begin to blur. They eat, nap, watch a little TV, maybe scroll through old memories, but the spark fades. Time moves, but life stands still. That's not aging, that's disconnection. And that disconnection is one of the greatest threats to longevity that no one warns you about. Purpose isn't about achieving big things or starting a company. It can be as simple as tending a garden, helping a neighbor, learning something new, or being someone your grandkids can count on. Purpose is what pulls you forward. It creates structure, meaning, rhythm in your days, and when people lose it, they often start to wither. Not just emotionally, but physically. There's even a name for this in research circles: existential frailty. It's when the absence of meaning begins to impact your health. Your immune system weakens, your motivation drops. You stop seeking out connections, stop trying new things, and slowly retreat from the world. And without that daily engagement, the body begins to follow the mind. Muscles atrophy, mental sharpness dulls, and joy gets harder to find. Let me tell you about Robert. He was 78 when his wife passed, and he said it felt like someone pulled the plug on his life. For a while he just existed, ate what was easy, slept most of the day, and didn't care if he saw anyone. But one day, his daughter asked him to help his grandson learn to whittle wood for a school project. Robert used to be a carpenter, and that one moment lit a small spark. He started spending afternoons teaching his grandson simple techniques. Then the neighbor boy joined. Then the local church asked him to run a Saturday workshop. Within 6 months, Robert had something he hadn't felt in years: pride. He had a reason to get dressed, to smile, to plan. And guess what? His blood pressure improved. His energy went up, and he said he felt alive again. That's the power of purpose. It doesn't just make you feel better, it helps you live longer, and not just in years, but in quality. You laugh more, you build connections, which in turn strengthen your brain, protect your heart, and ward off depression. It's a ripple effect that starts with a single question: what gives my life meaning now? Still here? Then your story isn't over. If you're retired, grieving, or just feeling like your best days are behind you, take a moment to pause. It's easy to feel like your purpose has faded. But more often than not, it's just changed. It might be buried under loss, routine, or uncertainty, but it hasn't disappeared. And once you start to reach for it, even just a little, something shifts. Life begins to feel meaningful again. Because living longer isn't just about keeping death at bay. It's about saying yes to life, even when it doesn't look the way it used to. In fact, that's when saying yes matters most. Aging with intention. Living to 85 isn't just about good luck or strong genes. It's really about the small choices we make each day. Most people don't pass away early because of some big disaster. It's usually the quiet habits, the skipped walks, the missed connections, the neglected checkups that build up over time and take a toll. They slowly stop taking care of their bodies. They stop challenging their minds. They drift away from people. They stop doing the things that once brought them joy. And without realizing it, they let life shrink around them. But aging doesn't have to mean fading away. It can be a powerful new chapter. Whether that chapter feels rich and full or empty and filled with regret depends on the choices you make from here on out. And the best part, you're still the one writing the story. That alone is reason to be hopeful. So, what can you do today? Ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do differently right now? Could you take a short walk instead of staying seated? Could you call someone you care about instead of waiting for them to reach out? Could you finally make that doctor's appointment? Or could you simply take a quiet moment with a warm cup of tea and ask, what brings me joy today? Because the secret to living longer and better isn't locked in some lab or medical journal. It's in your habits, your relationships, your outlook, and in your decision to keep showing up for your life. And your life still matters. Deeply. Thanks for being here. If something in this message spoke to you, we'd love to hear it. Drop a comment below and share one thing that resonated with you and how you might carry it forward. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little encouragement today. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs, inspires, and reminds people that it's never too late to live fully. We'll see you in the next one.